Hi everybody, I hope that you're all doing well. We're here with a general reading. Before we get started, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. Maybe a focus on your personal life or things that you're doing for yourself or connected with your health, things like that. Maybe taking more of the initiative. There could be things like anything relating to the home. So it can have to do with your body. You may be doing like a project or something like that, working on something. But it can be something that's more so like contained within your space. Maybe you're feeling more creative too, or like you want to move around or do something. Okay. Sun, Leo energy, creative expression, happiness. Alright, Sun, 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands. You may have a goal that's becoming clear, becoming obvious to you, and feel like there are definitely some challenges that you're facing. I get this in more of a sense of kind of checking out your surroundings or kind of what a process or a situation would entail for you. Like, if I want this, then I'm going to need to do that. This may be a challenge or something that I'm going to have to figure out over there. But yeah, it could be... 9 of Wands can be feeling a block. Maybe not sure why. I'm definitely seeing a divide or a separation. Okay. If you're in a space where you're like, I have this, why am I feeling like that? Or I have this goal and I feel like I'm blocked from achieving it. If you're kind of trying to synthesize two seemingly different things or conjoin something that feels like there's a separation or a wall or a block, what is going to help you is learning as much information as you can. So say you have a particular goal and you're like, I keep trying and for some reason, like, I keep coming up short, or I'm failing to do this, or I feel like I'm not making progress here. Whatever this is that's going on, information is going to help you. This can be like having conversations. This is what's going to help. Having conversations with other people, talking to other people about this, researching it yourself, things like this. Figuring out what's going on. Because it seems like there's like a mental, energetic, emotional block that you may be feeling. I want to get more context. You have the Devil and the Ace of Swords. Something within the 3D becoming clear for you. This definitely looks like it's connected with resources, money, stability, home. Tangible things for you. Devil and 10 of Pentacles connected with one another can have to do with like an exorbitant amount of money. Or just like a big increase, like a windfall even. But you may have a material goal that you're going after. This can be like Sun and the Devil can have to do with career and things like that. Think about the 10th house. So things that have to do with like status, career, purpose, connected with like you and what you're doing in the public, business related things. You could have a business, things like this. So now you know that there's a particular goal that you're going after. Something has become obviously apparent to you. Okay. And you're seeing something clearly, but you may be seeing the goal clearly, and you may also be seeing the challenge clearly as well. So it does seem like scoping things out. You may also be in a spot where you don't want to get caught up in certain things, like maybe particular avenues you want to avoid. Seeing you feel a bit stressed out right now. Maybe also for some of you, something's going to cost a bit of money. So you could be focused on saving. Look at that. I'm seeing you reflecting on something that you're realizing. You could have also gotten to a place where you're like, maybe I was focusing on the wrong thing. Because the devil can kind of be a distraction where it's like, look over here, and then you look over at the thing and you like lose focus of what you were looking at before. And you may be at a spot where you're like, I lost focus, but I'm seeing clearly now. And this can also be related to like goals that you have. So who are we looking at? I have the Sun, Capricorn, and Virgo here. So yeah, seeing something clearly, maybe in a different way than you had been seeing it before. Now, the challenge is about you reflecting on something that you may still feel perplexed about with the Seven of Cups. This may have to do with you and someone, or about you and your like purpose / career. Two of Cups can be like you conjoining things when it comes to like your purpose, job, things like that. Like finding something that you love and doing it in a work setting, things like that. But this can also be somebody that you're connected with, and this person that you're connected with may be the one that kind of like is more financially supportive of whatever you have going on with them. Or it can be somebody that's like loaning you money or somehow connected with your finances where they would be supplying you with something. If this is not you. Okay. So through you reflecting on this challenge, these feelings that you're having, there is a change that's happening. Looking at the Death card and the Chariot as well, which means that the change is starting to pick up pace. Like you're even in a space where you're understanding that there is a change or an alteration or a big transition that's going to be happening that you feel even motivated to move in the direction of, albeit anxious, with the Eight of Swords on the bottom of the deck. It's interesting because this kind of feels like you going throughout your daily stuff and kind of pinpointing where things are happening, because I'm not seeing you take like an overtly emotional approach or overtly cerebral or just be only stuck in the earth energy. There's more of a focus on, okay, this is happening here, I have a goal there, and just like pinpointing and jotting things down that you're moving through. Like, oh, I feel confused in this situation, so how do I figure that out? It's like a very problem-solving energy that I'm seeing here, where you're like, either I don't know about this thing or I'm unsure about this thing. With the Seven of Cups, it's like this is an unknown, or I don't know how I feel, or I'm figuring that out, or there are a lot of options of like I can go in this direction or that. And you're like, okay, well, because I'm having this thing that's going on that I want to resolve, what's going to help me is learning more, researching, talking to people that are around me. It's going to help give me more of a sense of perspective. You putting yourself in like a learning environment where you're kind of becoming a sponge that is going to help you find resolution with something that you're working through. That's a part of a change as well that you're moving through now. And I'm also seeing you reflecting and be like, I know that this change is happening, and I know that I'm going to need to be going in this direction. So there's an awareness now that a transition is happening and that things are going to get moving. It kind of feels like a to-do list. This feels like strong Virgo energy. If you have a lot of like Virgo, a lot of Mercury in your chart, planets in the 6th house, Mercury on an angle. Okay. So something has been become clear to you that may have been potentially dysfunctional. with the devil, it can kind of be like we get involved in something that feels like it has seduced us in some way. And much of the time we can be in a space of like not wanting to wake up from the dream. However, the Ace of Swords is here being like, okay, wake up from the dream. Let's look at the reality of this situation. Maybe this isn't the healthiest thing to be doing with the devil. So you may be becoming like more health conscious in some way. And I mean, here it is with Virgo, which is an extremely health conscious archetype of energy. And so I'm seeing you reflecting on something and being like, okay, well, now that I'm really looking at it and now that I'm really thinking about it, I'm recognizing like this isn't the best thing for me, or maybe this was out of balance or unhealthy, whatever that is for you. And so you're like, okay, that means that a change is going to need to happen. It's like this very matter of fact, like there's a method here that you have of how you're thinking and then what you're doing. So now it's like, okay, a change needs to happen. There are going to be obstacles, but I'm gonna find my way and be able to surpass these things and move through it. And then I'm also seeing something about a message, like you may be having a heart-to-heart with someone. This looks more like a conversation that's being had, but you may be reaching out to somebody and talking to them. This would be somebody that's helping you gather information about this thing that you're doing. So whatever this change is that you're doing, that you're still kind of resolving and figuring out for yourself, or understanding how to go about doing something, there's somebody around you that is like curious and supportive of your journey that you may actually be having a conversation with that will give you definitely a sense of honesty. This is somebody that cares for you. To have the energy of the Page of Swords together and also the Knight of Cups, this would be something where there's like a lot of information that goes back and forth. You may talk to this person more regularly. They may be like more updated on your life than the average person. And it's also somebody that you have a heartfelt connection with the Cancer energy here. So yeah, somebody you have an emotional connection with. All right, let me just look at this a little bit more. So this thing has become obvious to you. It's making clear a goal that you have. You may feel a little bit challenged because this thing that you're looking at that may bring you a sense of security may represent, we can say, security for you in some way. You may be looking at it and being like, am I compromising my health, or am I compromising what's in alignment with my highest good for this thing that symbolizes security to me? And what do I need to do about this? So whatever this is, I'm seeing like this is out of the way. You've already figured it out. You have clarity about this situation and you have sized it up and analyzed it, and you have the numbers now. Now, what the challenge is, now that you've realized this, is to actually spend the time processing. Because to have this, it's like you have the truth now, you have the clarity that you needed, so something makes complete sense to you. But the challenge is you actually reflecting on it, especially reflecting on something that may be perplexing or throwing you off a bit. But it is going to, if you spend the time moving through this fogginess, it is going to help you come out on the other side of a change. But you may be at a point right now, like I'm feeling strongly that this is your energy currently, where you're like, I feel like there's a challenge or like maybe a block mentally for me, because like something is not completely clear yet. It may just not be the time for this to be completely clear, but there is a big change that's going to be happening that's attached to this. So you may kind of be in a somersault of the in-between energy. But yeah, the challenge is for you to reflect on something and not dismiss it just because it may not make sense now. It's kind of like, put it in your pocket for now. Something is going to be making sense to you. It feels like it's also connected with like all of the different ways that you can change and kind of come out on the other side of it. It's like you may go through this process and come out as a butterfly. You may go through this process and come out as something else entirely. It's just going to depend on what happens throughout this situation. You may also have mixed feelings about a change. Like, I don't really know how I feel about going through that whole transformation process. I'm kind of liking being a caterpillar right now. I don't really know. Like, who needs to fly anyway, you know? Like, having this conversation with yourself about, like, do I really want to go through this change? But it does seem like the more that you learn, like, I'm getting this from your energy, the more information you have, the more secure you feel. It definitely feels like such a strong Mercury placement for you. It's like the more information I have, the more comfortable I feel, the more secure I feel. Like, let me gather up all of the information. So the more like researching that you're doing, and the more like reading and learning and understanding, and let me talk to this person about it and hear their opinion, stuff like that, where it's like communication and information, things like that. That's what's going to help you. And like to really talk to people or research places where you trust and things like that, because I'm seeing trust be important here too. But yeah, this change that you're going through is ultimately going to help you maybe even come to a place where there's a bigger message that you're going to be sending out, or maybe something deeper or bigger that you're going to be saying. Yeah, there may be, at the conclusion of this, you may actually decide to go about reaching out to someone or sending a message to them, or feeling like it's like a message, a letter, reaching out to someone to communicate with them, giving them a call, something like that. But it only happens after the change. It's kind of like when all is said and done and you overcome like this particular like challenge that you're moving through and you get out on the other side, I'm seeing you be able to like look back and review everything. And I'm seeing that it looks like you're going to be reaching out to someone, but then I'm seeing it be, is it in ellipses? Is that the right word? It's like the ... That's what's coming through. So I'm just going to trust that that's it. Otherwise, maybe we're talking about something else completely. But yeah, after this, it's like the ... I don't know who you're reaching out to or who you're sending a message to, but it's somebody that you may be in a space where you're like, I want to tell you, I want to share what this was that I experienced and what this is that I just went through, but it's kind of like after the process. So whoever this person is that you end up reaching out to, you didn't tell them when you were going through all of this, but then I'm seeing you get to a spot where you're like, you want to share the news. This is a sharing energy. Like, I want to let you know what's going on with me. I want to have a conversation with you. And this is like also about doing something that you want to do, because I see the King of Wands kind of wanting to come out, and then when I split the deck was there presently. So this is about you taking action in some way, that maybe something like you need to move through a process before that's going to be able to happen. Let's look at the signs. We're looking at Cancer, Scorpio, Virgo, Capricorn, and the Sun. Okay, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.